Welcome to a brand new episode of the Oracles. My name is Manelisi, and unfortunately, the my amazing co-pilot, the superstar Oracle Zima Zibugo, is not able to join us today. But today we are joined by our very first guest this year. This young woman is a singer, rapper, actress, and all-around creative. Her love for the arts started shining at the age of 2. At 12, she started writing, and at 18, she started recording. Her musical and poetry gift has so far awarded her with appearances on multiple platforms such as Back to the City, the Bet Center, Stogies, Barfest, YFM, and so many more. She has collaborated with some of the hip hop big hitters such as Speeka and Reason or Caesar Alakine, as well as the amazing Yellowphonic. So far, she has given us a 4-track EP titled Vibrations, which includes her first single, Savior. As an actress, she has appeared on stage in a Grammy-nominated musical production called Inala. As the Oracles, we are honored to have such an amazing creative join us. I first saw her at Barfest and Ngenange. Even though I didn't know who she was, I just knew that's a lot of energy and there must be something special going on there. She's born and raised in Tembisa with so many great talents that come from there. And as a pastor's kid, there's little to no doubt that she too is destined for greatness. Zia and I knew that our first guest this year would be carrying something beautiful and amazing. So it is fitting that she from birth is named Silinobuhle Dlamini, but we all know her as the forever ready Firdy. Firdy, how you doing, man?
Good man. Thank you for having me, Manelisi. Oh, that intro was so beautiful.
Yeah.
You done did your research and you named everything.
Yeah.
Thank you for having
Yeah.
me.
No, I'm glad to
Yeah,
have you. Yeah, I'm very glad to have you. And I'm glad that you enjoyed that intro.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So now two things that I want to start with is first, where your mom's at come from? And secondly, where does the name Ferdy come from?
Okay, so first, I'm always surrounded like by my homies, which are the 1619 Records guys that I started doing this music thing with. And it's just always been a thing that like we'd say every time we hang out. I think I found them saying it, to be quite honest with you. And we just always kept on saying it every time we go to performances. And I did dig a little deeper where they got it from. And there's like this it's like a video. You know how we get inspired by anything and everything, and we find everything on this um digital world side
So
of things.
yeah.
So they saw it on a clip. I can't remember what the clip was about, but then the guy over there said, "Where your mom's at?" And then they just took it from there, and they've been saying it the whole time. So I also like just rode on the wave, and then until I figured it out to myself, was, oh, actually, this is a reality check for me as well. Like every time I'm outside there and I'm performing for these people, and I ask them where your mom's at, and then they say it back to me, it's also like, oh shit, where is my mom actually?
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, she's at home and she prayed for me before I got here and before I started like standing in front of you guys to perform and everything. So yeah, I think I've also just managed to alchemize it in that sense. So yeah. And then Firdy, Forever Ready. Um, it was like a random thing, really. I was in the math class in like grade 10, and then I raised my hand to say the answer, which was 30, like 30. But the way
Yeah.
I said it, a classmate of mine was like, why are you saying I'm saying 30? I was like, oh, that has a nice ring to it. So I just took the word from there until as I went on, I deciphered what it would mean to me, which is like what I am and what I embody, which is being forever ready for anything and everything that life and music and the creative space throws at me. So yeah, that's how I came about it.
Yeah, because I was very curious because you mixed the two names, like the Forever Ready and Ferdy. So I was just trying to figure out how that comes together. But now I get it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Forever
So
ready. Yeah, forever ready is like the written out version of
Version
30,
30.
basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So as a
yeah.
creative who started creating early in the youth, there was no way you'd go into any other career other than the arts. Where did you go after grade 12?
So I actually went to study, although I'm not done, because life just got
Yeah,
in the way, all these gigs and everything. But I went to
yeah,
study at Boston Media House in Sandton. There's only like three campuses in the whole of South Africa. One is in Pretoria, the other one is in Sandton, and the other one is in Durban. So
yeah,
I was at the one in Sandton, yeah, pursuing a diploma in media practices, majoring in television and radio production. So yeah.
yeah. And are there any plans
Yeah.
to finish?
Yeah, like oh my God, I have the overwhelming urge to finish what I start. Like I'm that kind of a person. So I would love to actually go back when like maybe things quiet down and I make enough money again to go because it's a private institute and the school
Yeah.
fees is not like,
Eh,
it's not
Yeah.
like nice like that. But hopefully when I do get my bag up again and things start quieting down a little bit, then I will definitely do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you started writing at 12 years old. Um, what was the inspiration behind your poetry at the time?
So in actual fact, like I was just always an I stayed fit kid, like doing public speaking, doing like reciting poems and stuff. So we'd
Mm,
always get like these written out poems, and then we'd have to like memorize them and recite them at I stayed fit amongst like in front of a panel, and then all that type of thing. So
mm,
I think from that experience and just seeing the rhyme schemes and everything that I'd had to like learn and recite, I sort of kind of put it and brought it back to like me as a person, what I'm going through, how I feel in the moment. So I would just write about things like my grandmother going to the store or how it feels to be the only girl in the class who's smart, who's getting the A's, or
mm.
things like that, just things that relate to what I would be going through at the time. So
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And as a pastor's kid, what were the conversations in the house around your art and your future? Because I think I might have a idea of how that was.
I will not lie. I've given my parents a headache. Like, yo, from the way I dress, like my mom is a girly girl, and I'm like, I'm tomboyish. So I dress like a bro sometimes. Sometimes I do dress like a girl, but like most of the time it's just a combination of the
Sure.
two of the
Mm,
two. So like I'm always in baggy stuff, but anytime I feel like it, I can just, show some skin here on the top, wear my crop tops and whatever. So the baggy clothes have always been a thing with my mom, like to the point where there's like this first batch of baggy clothes I had. I was away for like a weekend. I came back and all my clothes are gone.
got it.
I don't know if she burnt them or she donated them or what, but like my mom was like crazy like that. She was like, wena nalobu artsy bakho nalobu creative bakho niyangisanganisa. But then as time went on, she genuinely like I sat her down and I was like, girl, this is how I know how to express myself. This is how I feel comfortable expressing myself, especially with the things that I do and the people that I hang around, the hip hop scene, being in Brahm a lot, being in like Jersey a lot, and seeing all
Mm,
these other people, watching music videos. Like you have to understand that like this is me and this is what I feel comfortable doing. And as time went on, she was just like open to it and just allowed me to the point where she started buying me baggy clothes
mm,
as well. And with regards to my art, I think it was inevitable because like
mm,
I grew up singing at church as well because that's what she does. And from then on, I was just like, I want to sing about love. Like, yes, I love singing at church, but like, that's not really who I am. I love singing about my experiences, how I feel and how I see the world, and how many things have impacted the person that I am. So, in terms of rapping it, singing it in R&B or neo soul, that kind of a vibe. So, yeah, and they've been very supportive, Shane. They've been so
yeah.
supportive, especially at being an artist too, like is self-funded. Sometimes I don't have money to go to gigs if they're not paying. So
Mm,
I would never have to second guess asking my parents and say, Ish mama or baba, ngicela imali kanjena," so that I can go to a gig. They would be like happy to give it to me. So yeah, I feel
yeah.
so blessed and honored. Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the songs that you did at Barfest was the one about your uncle. I
Yeah,
can't remember. I think it might have been the last song that you did. Um,
yeah,
because I think that's the one for me that really stood out. But and just before we actually continue with some of the other questions, yeah, please tell us about the song.
mm,
And yeah, because I know that it's also a very tragic one. But it's very beautifully written. The your voice there as well, like it was just
yeah.
amazing. Please tell us about that song.
I always try to not get emotional when I talk about this song because it's so dear to my heart, you know.
Mm,
So I wrote it 2 days after my uncle's passing. Well, he got murdered, like brutally murdered, by people he was familiar with, like people who knew him like that, you know.
yeah.
So he had just gotten involved in like, you know, some hood stuff, dealing with like shady things and everything. And knowing my uncle, again, like this is us just making speculations because we don't even really know what happened. Like we just
Mm,
found this guy like dead under a tree outside of somebody's house, stabbed with a screwdriver through the ears, opened in the chest, like just like that. And yeah, yo, thinking back to when I even got that phone call, it was like so brutal and so heartbreaking. And seeing him just lying there, like he doesn't matter. He's not someone's anything. Like he's not a brother. He's not an uncle. He's not a son. You know, it was just so heartbreaking to experience firsthand. But the last time I saw him, we were going to church and he was running. I think it was his first attempt to like get away from these people. And he came to my house and we told him we're going to church. And he was like, oh, okay. Then he like just whipped out a whole lot of 2 rand coins from his pockets and then he gave them to me and my brother. And he said we should like give the offering on his behalf
oh,
and pray for him as well, which is like what we did. And then he said we're gonna see him again, and yeah, that was the last time I saw or heard from him
mm,
again. The next time I heard about him, when he came back from running away, like I think about 2, 3 weeks after he came back from the Eastern Cape, they brutally murdered him.
okay.
So yeah, that song is just I always like cry when I sing it, and I try to hold myself from crying sometimes, but sometimes I just can't, and I end up breaking down anyways. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, because
yeah,
it's a very beautifully written song.
yeah.
Yeah, but just moving on from that very quickly, like at what age did you realize the power in your voice? Because like I was really blown away when I heard you at Barfest, and you've been singing
Yeah.
in church. You've been singing since you were 2 years old. But when did you realize that this voice, that this is something amazing?
Um, I think I've always known I can sing really because I grew up in a very like musical family. So we always just singing or listening to music one way or another. But I think the realization of the impact that my voice has, not only on other people, but on myself as well. Like sometimes I do listen to myself and I get goosebumps, but like most of the time I'm very critical of it anyway. So
Mm,
I barely take it in that regard. But when I started realizing my purpose, like why I'm doing this, why do I have this gift? You know,
mm,
why me? Why am I the one who was given this gift from my grandmother all the way to my mom, passed down to me? Why me? I think as it got to like the other generations, like from my grandmother right down to me, it got even more powerful. And like that was just a reiteration of something that has to be done to heal with this voice. So I think when I had that realization of self and what my purpose is, which I think if I can think age wise, I was around um 14. Yeah,
yeah,
around 14. That's when I was like, oh, actually, when I sing, I'm not just singing because I have the voice and I can sing, but I'm actually touching people's souls and inspiring them or reminding them of something and just healing them in every note possible, you know? So, yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
because yeah, your voice is absolutely amazing. Who would you say
Thank you.
um is the best singer in your family? Who's the best voice?
I'm sorry, y'all, but it's me. I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
My mom has pipes for days. Yo, my mom, like that's where I get it from, really.
Yeah.
Um, that lady can sing. Like, yo, I think she's more than just a singer to me. She's also such a big inspiration
Yeah.
because, according to her, even like she used to sing with me at church. Like while she was still pregnant with me, she
Yeah.
would sing there at church. And for some odd reason, I'd like just do movements inside her stomach while she was singing. And then it was like, I think that's when it was a realization for her as well. Which, okay, I
Yeah.
think I have a singer inside me too, you know? So
Yeah.
yeah, but my mom, the
Yeah.
greatest.
And do you think
Yeah.
she would, if you were to ask her to appear in one of your songs, would she say yes?
Of course you would. I think I'm just waiting for the right song and the right time to be able to do that. But I
Yeah.
know she'd be so 100% down to do it with me. Since she
Mm.
doesn't have a choice, we have to do it,
Good.
okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Because I'd love to hear that, man. I'd really love to hear that.
Yeah.
No, but so
I think so. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You grew up in a digital age where you could easily download beats from from the internet, which you did. What type
Yeah.
of beats did you lean towards?
From the music I've just been listening to, man, growing up and being in my adolescent stage, like things like people like your Erica Badu's, your Thandiswa Mazwais, your Simpiwe Danas,
Yeah,
your Jill Scott, you know, just those musical influences. I was just actively looking for like neo soul based, lo-fi kind of, you know, that swing. You see that boom bap
yeah,
swing
yeah,
that we have, like songs like that, songs that not only are boom bap like in hip hop in a sense, but like they have a melodic aspect to
and
them as well. So
yeah,
yeah, I'll just go and like Google random stuff like um neo soul beats or uh Erica Badu type beats kind of things, you know. So,
yeah,
and then I'd get come across those kind of things, and then just from then, just scribble and write because I didn't really know producers like that at the time
mm,
until I eventually did. So yeah,
yeah, and
yeah.
yeah, but then well, with the poetry and all the artsy stuff that you had going on with you, what made you decide to lean towards music more than anything
Oh,
else?
yeah. I think music is just something that I'm not saying I have to think to do the other things, but
Yeah,
like it's innate. Music is just a very innate thing for me. Like I could sing just the randomest of things. Like I would be having a conversation with you and it'll remind me of a song from a statement you said and I'm already singing. Like, you know, so
yeah,
it's just something that I do it subconsciously, like whether I'm thinking about it or not, like I'm
okay,
gonna sing. So I think I realized that writing these poems, like what better way to put them across in like instead of like just saying them, I can sing them as well, you know. So I think
yeah,
that's when yeah, the music just took over as well. But also, again, like I said previously, growing up in a very musically inclined family, being around and surrounded by music almost like all the time. I used to sit at 3 years old. I used to sit with my uncle in his room, listen to Bob Marley. I didn't know jack about what the
yeah,
hell Bob Marley is about, but I just felt so like I would go to my grandmother's house just so I can do that with my uncle. Sit
yeah.
there, he'll roll his blunt, and I would just sit there, 3 year old me, listening to Bob Marley, like I know what he's talking
Talking
about.
about
So
yeah,
yeah, music has just always been a thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And right
Yeah.
now, what inspires your music? Because I would imagine that you're working on something at the moment. Now, what's your inspiration right now?
Um, Divine femininity, man. I think as much as I'm a tomboy and yeah, to a degree in the street, like people even like um excuse me for a nigger than a girl. You know, sometimes like
Yeah.
people ask me, "Are you a girl? Are you a boy?" I'm like, "What do you think?" You know, so I think
Yeah.
I just thought to lean more into showing the feminine side of me because clearly the masculine side of me is so dominant. But I also wanted to show that, hey guys, the divine feminine, the African soul, which is what I think is the representation of the divine feminine. The African soul is a woman, I think, the one who carries the sound and the pain and the joy and the nurturing of the like Africa and like life in general is a woman, the divine feminine. So
Yeah.
that's the direction I'm taking with this next project that I'm working on.
And when can we expect it?
So far, I don't have an exact date, so I
Yeah.
don't want to get your hopes up. And then when the time comes, it's like how Firdy said, but it's not, you know. But very soon, I am dropping the lead single to the EP,
Okay.
which will definitely happen sometime in September. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid to ask too many questions about it. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think I might have an idea because you're working closely with Speeka. Is he one of the
Yeah.
producers on there?
Um, just facilitating the sound and how I like my mixes and whatever, yes, but production wise, no.
Yeah.
But one of our close friends, Speaker and I, his name is Infectist, he
Yeah.
produced one of the songs over there. Mostly it's been produced by a homie of mine called Alta the Producer, super fire. He was actually there at Barfest and I performed one of the songs that
Cool.
are on the project over
Project.
there. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
All right. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it because I also trust Speaker's ear.
I hope you
And
like it.
also like
Yeah,
with what I heard uh, with what you've got at Barfest, like I'm
mhm,
really excited. So I also trust your ear as well. So I'm really looking forward
yeah.
to it. Yeah. And I first heard you. And like I first saw you and heard you at Barfest. How did
Yeah.
Utastogi find you? And how was your first interaction with him?
Yo, like that was one of the craziest experiences I've ever had in my life because I was just sitting at home, minding my own business on the couch, watching TV, and then get a random text. It's like, yo, it's Dumelo here. And then in brackets, it's like Stogie T. I'm like, what the hell? Oh my gosh. And I had been at Barfest like at the three prior to the one I performed at.
Yeah.
And I just always been saying, whoa, how will I get to like, how do I get to like, be on the stage and like
Stage.
just show people over here what I do? Because it's such a beautiful initiative. I
Mhm.
love Barfest, the culture and the overall mood that it just comes across as. Like for
Yeah.
hip hop, it's one of the greatest events I've been to. And yeah, I think how he got to me has something to do with Speaker
Yeah.
because I think he was looking for an opener for that particular bar fest, and I think Speaker might have mentioned my name or something like that, and then he reached out to me. Yeah, actually, according to Speaker, he had asked this question like way earlier in the year, like around February or something, and then Dastogi only reached out to me like now in June, so which is quite crazy, but I was
Yeah.
like super grateful for anyways. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was
Yeah.
pretty amazing. It was really amazing, and I saw him contest when you called him with that stone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Hey man. But kuzawuthiwani because
yeah,
iGrootman,
man,
and
yeah,
like I have such big respect for him.
yeah,
So esiXhoseni Ibuda, like a big brother,
Uh,
Nguta, so, and
Yeah,
his name is Stogie, so it
yeah.
also makes sense because Stogie Tita,
You're
Stogie,
still
it's
yeah.
like, it also makes sense to me, like rhythmically, so yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and now I want us to get a little bit into your acting. Where
Yeah.
does the acting come in, and where have you appeared so far?
Well, I've always been a theater baby. In high school, I did dramatic arts, and that's where like I'd always known that I would love to be in front of the camera, but
Mm,
I was always looking at people like your Bonangs, your Mini Dlaminis, like with regards to presenting. Like I'd always loved being in front of the camera, but
yeah,
I was just always thinking, um, I'd love to be like Connie Ferguson one day. I'd like to be like, Minnie Lamini, like all the presenters, the actors. I just always aspire to be like them. So when I did drama and I actually got to learning what it requires for someone to even like be on such things and do such things, it was an overall like game changer for me. So I've appeared on theater wise, I just, as you had mentioned, Inala, and I've been to the South African Championships of Performing Arts, where I did like some acting and some choral verses over there.
mm,
And I've been also a part of this YouTube series, like it's a YouTube channel called Chasing Rainbow. It's one of like the biggest in Africa. It's
yeah,
a queer channel where like the storylines, the movies, everything is like queer
yeah,
based.
yeah,
And I've appeared on like multiple of the series over there. There's like 12 Days to Christmas. There's The Awakening. There's Priscilla. Like you can just go over there and check it out. You'll definitely see me over there.
yeah,
But in actual TV and film, I haven't made my debut yet. Because I think I've been more focused on the theater side of things, not in film. Film wise, I've just always loved being behind the scenes, operating the cameras, writing the scripts, directing. That's always been my
yeah,
thing, especially when it comes to the film side of things.
yeah.
But I'd also like to be in front of the camera, which is going to be happening very soon,
So
very soon.
yeah. Also, so is that to say that there's something in the pipeline?
Well, I'm just putting it to the universe, really.
This,
There's
oh,
really
okay,
nothing,
yeah,
but there is something. I'm just
something.
putting it out there in the universe. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, just grabbing it. I mean, it's somewhere out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just
Yeah.
grabbing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It's
how?
just going to gravitate towards me. Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you? How would you describe your acting though? Like, because I know that there's dramatic actors, there's comedic actors.
Mm.
How do you see yourself? Or where do you see yourself?
That's actually a very good question. I just see myself as an actor, which is basically like, according to what my drama teacher always used to say, like you're a vessel to like step into another person's shoes while
Yeah.
also finding a relatable point about it in yourself. So
Mhm.
whether it be romantically or comedically or dramatized or like scary kind of thing, um, I just need to find that aspect that relates to me or that like I see myself in the character as well. But
Yeah.
if it was up to me, I'm a sci-fi horror girl, so
Oh
I
yeah.
love thriller action kind of things. I think I'd be able to do my own stunts as well because I'm super athletic. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's the kind of actor I'm looking forward to being.
But what is it that you cannot do? Because you're athletic, you academic, you are in arts. What
Yeah.
is it that you cannot do?
I'd be lying if I said I know no like doing wise. I
Yeah.
don't even think people know this, but I can actually draw as well. Like I can actually like draw and paint as well.
Yeah.
Which is something like I never really talk about because
And it
it's
actually
just a
doesn't
thing
surprise me
I
either.
do. I think I'd like yeah, I think it's one of the few things I can keep to myself, like as a private thing, like if you find it out, you can actually be shocked. Because right now,
Yeah.
people already know that I dance, I sing, I act. So let me have just that one thing that is an element of surprise. But I think God gave me everything He could, man, except for like big, nice. Like, let's talk
Right.
about physical stuff. I think I don't look, not to say I'm gonna go like get a BBL or whatever, but like,
Yeah,
I've always like desired to have a specific kind of a body. But then thinking back to how I'm an athletic person, it makes sense why I have the body that I have, which I love. No, not that I don't love my body. I do. I
yeah,
just sometimes it's things like these, like not having a big chest area that I
yeah.
get mistaken for a cat,
Got it.
which is
Yeah.
things I sometimes people are like, I can't see what's going on in the chest
It-
area. Are you a guy? You a girl? So
yeah,
I think things like that, having a nice posterior as well, would at least let people know that, hey, she's a girl. But otherwise, I don't really care about all that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But lastly, with the whole acting thing, being part of a Grammy-nominated play is not a very small thing. What was your role in Inala?
So because it's a musical, we all have to sing and dance and
So,
sort of kind
yeah,
of act, subtly act at the same time. So how we went about everything is like during the whole like audition process, rehearsal process, you'd have to like just step up and say, "Can I try and lead this song?" I think I'd be able to add a certain aspect or, do
mm,
things like that.
mm,
So when songs were being put on the table, I felt the need and I felt so connected to the song that I ended up leading there on the stage, which is a song called Usizi. All the songs, by the way, were written and co-produced by Ubab Joseph Shabalala
oh
and
wow,
Ella Spira MBE, which is like a musician and an artist from the UK.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, it was just like a very big thing to be able to sing that song Usizi, because it was a very relatable song to me at that point in time. I'd recently lost Umamncane wami, so singing that song just made me think about all the losses that I've had to deal with, and
yeah.
um I've managed to still be standing and still be here. So I'd say my role was like to be one of the lead singers, but I think we all led a song at some point in time. So
Yeah.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
and yeah, and just getting into the back into the music again. Oh,
Mhm.
you've been working quite a lot with Speeka. How did you guys find each other?
Yeah, that is like the day I met that guy, my life changed. Like, and I bet you he always says this about meeting me. He's like, the day I met you, my life changed forever.
Yes.
I'm like, what do you mean, bro? You're Speeka. Like, how did I change your life? And every time he's about to put me onto someone, he literally is gonna say that. It's like, watch me change your life. And then after that, that person is like, oh my God, you actually changed my life.
Yeah.
But back to the question. There's an event hosted by Nyeleti the Star. It's surrounded by around music and the mental health and wellness of creatives, because
Yeah.
as much as we focus so much on doing the music and doing the shoot and going there and doing da da da, da, we forget to check in with ourselves mentally.
Mm.
So, which is a very great initiative. The event is called Heartbeats, and there's actually a perform like and it's actually taking place tomorrow at Kitchener's.
Yeah.
Free entry, you can come through and just vibe out. But yeah, with this one, it was being hosted in Auckland Park around the end of 2023. Yeah. And
Mm.
Speeka was just there. And it's crazy because I was sitting right next to him and I could recognize his face. I was like, man, this guy's face looks so familiar. I know I grew up seeing him on TV, on SABC One with these gassy rap stuff. I just don't know his name. And
Yeah.
then, but like I just kept to myself because as much as Ngumuntu Papayo,
Mm.
but when like I don't like invading in people's spaces, especially if I'm unfamiliar with them. So I just let him be him until it was time for me to go on stage. I went on stage, I sang and I rapped, and then he was like, "What?" The minute I got off stage, he was like, "Who the hell are you? Like, where have you been my whole life?" I'm
Yeah.
like, "Man, what are you talking about?" And then since then, yeah, we just been so close. He called me the next morning. He was like, listen here, bro, I don't drink alcohol. So everything I said about you last night, I genuinely meant it.
It's just,
You are the
yeah,
greatest. And thank you for introducing yourself to me. And since then, I did Sotra Cyphers, did songs with him. And we've just been homies since then. Anytime
yeah,
I know I can go over to his house and be like, yeah, Speaky Splonko. Not everyone can do that
yeah.
to a thug and a gangster like that. But I
Yeah.
size him down. I'm like, hey, Baba, who's Pinky Splonka? So yeah, I share a very special
Yeah.
relationship with him, and I appreciate him so much. Like he's a
Yeah.
big brother to me now. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like people don't really haven't yet recognized the importance of Sotra ciphers.
Mm,
But
mm.
how big of a how, how is it to be part of Sotra ciphers to actually contribute to what Speaker is doing?
Yeah, it's an honor. I will not even lie about it. It's such an honor that like I get to search Sotra ciphers and find my name among other great
Great.
MCs who have been on there,
Yeah.
Sia Shezis, Ntombela Bantu speaking, Caesar Alakan, like all these dope ass guys who have been on there and represented people who have done not just the music but have represented the culture in such a
Mm.
big way. And I think that's what Sotra Cyphers is. Like you don't need to be an established artist to
Just
be on Sotra Cyphers. You just need to be dope. And you
yeah.
just need to be lyrically inclined to your story and be able to represent yourself and like own your aura in a
Mm.
sense, So even guys, again for Ikasi rap, this is big. Like even in my head, like when I just randomly spoke about it, the guys in my head have so much respect for me just because I was on Sotra
Sotra
Cyphers and
ciphers.
just because I know Speaker like that. They're like, yo, dog, you are really like putting us on the map. And it's like it's an honor for me to be one of those people who are holding the flag high
Yeah.
on Sotra Cyphers on behalf of my hood, telling these hood stories and because that's what Sotra Cyphers is
This
about,
is
telling
what.
hood stories the best way we know how. So
Yeah.
I feel very honored. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I
Yeah.
will soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, Speaker, if you see this, can I get an exclusive again?
No, I'm sure he's gonna see it. I'm very sure he's gonna see it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then also moving on to Sizwe Alekine or Reason,
Yeah.
how was it experience of being on a Reason album? Because that also is no small thing. And
Mm,
how did that
mm.
conversation come about for Reason to put you on there? Which is
Man, number
an album
one.
which is someone nominated also.
Hey. When I found that out on Thursday, we were in an Uber, actually, me and my manager, we were in an
Yeah.
Uber on my way to a gig, hip hop therapy hosted by Erratic. Speaker calls us. He's like, are you guys sitting down? I have big news for you guys. I'm like, whoa, you're scaring me. What's going on? He's like, Dear Dagi has been nominated for Sama
Oh,
Best Hip Hop Album of the Year. I'm like, what the hell is going on? It was, oh my God, it was so amazing and humbling and mind-boggling because it's like, what, like me on that project and it's Sama nominated? Like these are things I only imagined as a kid, like things I
mm,
used to dream about. So even meeting Usizwe, such an amazing person, like he's like such a cool bro. Um like meeting him was just so crazy. Like I remember going there to his studio, got there, he came, he opened the door for me. Like he don't know me for a bar of soap, but
yeah.
just to emphasize on how much of a good person he
Person
is.
is
He
yeah.
came not knowing me, opened the door for me, introduced himself, and gave me like this nice, warm, welcoming hug. And it was like, welcome, come through, come give me. And by the way, when he got introduced to me as a rapper. So he didn't know I can sing too.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, on the record we have together, I'm rapping until at the end because, like, he had just been so strict about it. Okay, so from 3:23 minutes to 4:02, that's your slot. No, nothing before that, nothing above that. Just do
Yeah.
that, and then it's time. So I did that, and then something in me was just like, sing, girl. And then I just started singing out of nowhere. He was outside. He came and he was like, what witchcraft is this, girl? What the hell? I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do it. Sorry, I know you said I should just rap. He was like, girl, put that on there. So it was just so much fun being there around him and recording this record together. Again, how I got to be introduced there. Speeka executive produced the project, right? Like he
Yeah.
does most of the production on the project.
Yeah.
So I think they were looking for a specific kind of female rapper
Yeah.
and a specific kind of feel, like hood story kind of tell, because that's what Dear Daki is
Like it
about.
is.
Like
Yeah.
also like just the hood. Yeah, I think Caesar's telling hood stories in the best way he knows how, because
Yeah.
yes, we know him as Reason and the guy with the bars and the philosophies and the metaphors and the blah blah blahs. But with this project, I think he was just being vulnerable and open enough to tell his stories of where he grew up and things he's going through. So Speeka suggested that we get me to be on there,
Yeah.
which I came through and I did. And since then, we've had such a tight relationship, working relationship with Sizwe, no Sean, no Tweezy. I've just been roaming around their spaces as well. So it's been
Yeah.
fucking amazing, man. It's been
Yeah.
amazing.
Nah, that's
Yeah.
dope, man. That's really dope. And
Yeah.
by the way, I have an unfinished interview with Reason. But hopefully
Yeah.
hopefully we'll be able to do it properly very
Lock
soon.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But tell us about Beautiful Vibrations. It's so far the only project that you've released, and it was released
Yeah.
last year, if I'm not mistaken. Please
Yes.
take us through it.
Ah, my baby, my firstborn.
Yeah.
I love that project. Took me 4 years to put it
That's it.
together
Wow.
and finally have the courage to like release it, because I'd just been so skeptical about doing anything. Like, how art is so subject to be criticized,
Yeah.
whether people know where you creating it from or how you even came about the creative process. People are just going to feel the need to like either criticize it or appreciate it,
Good.
which is what makes it art, and which is what made me realize that, oh man, let me just stop thinking about it too much and actually do it. I
Mm.
think in hindsight, I was just a little bit more concerned about how people are going to receive it, because this is an introduction to me. This is not a big thing in South Africa like that. Like the alternative space is one of the like small but very much rapidly growing spaces in the music scene, excuse me. And I'm dropping this around, actually, like even before the drop, just making this kind of music, meeting new producers, people who'd be like, dude, do piano, bro, do piano, come to the piano side, blah blah blah. And it's like, no thanks, that is not like my son. No, it's not my cup of tea. Like
To
I love
take.
it,
Yeah.
I listen to it, I dance to it, but like I don't think I'd be able to express myself as great
To-
as I do and I can when I do it hip hop wise or neo
Yeah.
soul wise. So I think things like that got to my head a little bit, but at the end of the day, I was like, it's fine. Let me just do it.
Yeah.
Compiled the 4 songs. Alto, the producer, again produced what did he produce? Alto. No, actually, Alto is not on the production for this one. Kid Plug is on it. Wave God is on it, and KP the Pro is on it. Um, I do have something that's a dilemma though that will catch up to me, and I know it will. But I'm ready for it. I was also still very young and impressionable. So
Yeah.
Savior is actually on a type beat, and I
Okay.
didn't really like
Oh.
clear. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
really like clear it like that, and I didn't even I forgot who like the
The
guy who made the
producer is.
beat is,
Yeah.
but his tag is on the beat. I still kept that. I was like, at least let me keep that. But when I'm big or whatever, and people get to realizing Gucci, and then this guy is like, that's my beat. What the hell? Like, I'm ready, I'm ready. And if you see this, like, I know, we're gonna
Yeah.
sort it out.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end
But
of the day,
yeah,
that was I feel like that's part of the point for the producers. They put up those beats online because they want people to
mhm.
use them.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
the guy is going to come forward at some point. But I'm glad that you are able
yeah,
that you are open to actually that you're actually open about it to say when you do come
yeah,
forward,
yeah,
we'll have a conversation. But which
yeah.
is something a lot of people in the industry wouldn't do or even talk about.
Man, like,
But
this is someone else's intellectual
intellectual
property.
property,
Like,
yeah,
I would not love for my stuff to be taken and I do not get credited for it. Like, yeah, no, like,
yeah.
so that's why I'm very much open to that. But yeah,
Yeah. And because right now you're in an upward trajectory. You're busy like almost every weekend you are booked. You've been on the Twice a show, which is
mm,
also an amazing thing. Now people are starting to
yeah,
recognize you. But
yeah,
how are you able to handle all of this at this point?
yeah. I will not lie to you. I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, yes, I know I've always been like a busy person, always gigging, like multiple gigs in a day, da 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 da. But
Yeah.
now, recently, like especially after the Twizer show, things have just been so crazy. Um, into radio interviews, gigs, photo shoots, all of these things. Like, I have to have time to be able to do while also bearing in mind that I'm still a daughter, I'm
Mm.
still a sister, I'm still a friend. So now some of these things are getting neglected because I'm so busy with like my work and my career and all of that stuff. And yeah, it's something I'm still just also trying to navigate and like balance, But more
Mm.
than anything, I think I will get the hang of it eventually. And yeah, ugh, man, my parents understand, like they know, and they're like 100% behind me, and they're very supportive about everything.
Yeah.
Same as my friends. So although they do feel neglected sometimes, but I do make it a point to like just check in when I can. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, and while we're still also on the bookings, Back to the City hasn't announced their lineup as yet. And I
Mm.
don't know if you got the call or if you're allowed to talk about it as yet, but um, will we expect to bump into you at Back to the City this year? Whether as a performing
Bump
artist
into
or just a
me.
yeah.
Yeah, bump into me, of course, definitely. That's my home for real. That's church for me.
Yeah.
So bump into me definitely. With regards to performance, I think let's wait it out and see, what the universe got for me. And then
Yeah.
hopefully, I don't know, maybe I end up on a poster some way, somehow.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
otherwise, yeah, you're definitely gonna see me at Back to the City.
And you also were part of
Yeah.
the 10K challenge. Was it last year or the year before?
The year before,
The year
right?
before. Yeah.
Yeah.
How was
Yeah.
that?
One of the most cringiest moments I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Because number one, my voice was like gone, gone.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm still gonna do it.
Mm.
And because of like the nervousness, like I get nervous every time I'm about to perform, I get super nervous.
Yeah.
So that day, I think the anxiety and the nervousness got to me too much because I'm realizing I'm around people like Abu Maraza. This is Back to the City, the biggest hip hop festival in South Africa, as a matter of
Yeah.
fact. And like I'm about to do this thing over here. So I forgot my lyrics, kind of choked a little bit, but I bounced back and I did it. And like to this day, I can't watch the footage from that day. I will not lie because I
Yeah.
feel so cringe. I'm like, damn it. But I think it's something I'm slowly learning to like appreciate and heal from because from that day onwards, I've never not even once missed a lyric. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm never doing, and I'm never putting myself in a situation like that ever again.
Yeah.
To the
Yeah.
point where even if I do make a mistake, there's this thing my drama teacher actually taught us as well. Is like, when you make a mistake, keep going. Like, nobody knows you made a mistake. You're the only one
Mhm.
who made a mistake. The audience doesn't know that. So when you start showing and thinking and showing them that, hey, I made a mistake, that's when
Yeah.
they're gonna know. But if you find a way to like cover it up or bounce back from it, ain't nobody gonna know. So since then, even if I do make a mistake, I will cover it up with improv. Plus, I'm a theater baby, so improvisation is a thing, is a skill
Yeah.
that we need to have. So yeah, that's what it is. But it was fire though. It was fun.
Yeah. Nah, but
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to properly meeting you because I only saw you from a distance at Barfest, but I'm looking forward to properly
yeah,
meeting you this year at Back to the
yeah,
City.
yeah,
And we're almost out of time because I know that you have to get ready for your performances later. But just one
yeah,
last question. Where
yeah.
do you see your career going at this point? Or what do you want to see happen with your career?
Hmm. Um, Collaboration wise, I think I'm looking forward to things like uh getting a record with Tandy Somazwai, getting a record with Miss Lauren Hill, Jill Scott, um, like these people who I've always aspired to meet and who have inspired me to be the artist that I am.
Yeah,
Getting sync deals. I think I'm looking more into the side of getting sync deals now, like getting TV scores, film scores,
and
and
that's
then
big money as well.
yep,
Yeah,
yep, so I think I'm also like just navigating that area as well. But otherwise, like as long as I still keep um providing and giving my art from the purest place I come from, like from as pure and as real as I possibly can be, whether I grow out of the genres and I dabble into other things, which I am open to.
mm,
But as long as it's from a real, authentic place in my heart and it inspires other people to do that, like that's all I really want. I think that would be the biggest success for me career
yeah,
wise. Like as long as I inspire little girls who aspire to be these certain type of people and be like that mirror for them to be like, oh my god, she was able to do it, that means I can too.
yeah,
So that's pretty much what I'm looking forward to doing with my music, and getting a Grammy, of course.
yeah,
I'm saying it now and I'm putting it to the universe and it's gonna happen. I'm gonna get EGOT status. Watch the space. EGOT status.
yeah.
Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and the Tony. Definitely gonna get all of those.
Yeah, and for people who don't really understand what EGOT status is a very, very exclusive club.
Yep.
In a sense, very, very few people have won all those awards. So
Yep.
that, and I believe it for you as well, because and Z and I always say this, that each and every person that we
Yeah.
have on the podcast is someone
Hmm.
that we believe in, is someone that
Yeah.
we whose music we love, whose work we love. And we definitely
Yeah.
love you. We love your work.
Thank
And man,
you.
we wish you all the best. We wish you amazing things. And everything
Thank
that you
you so
believe for
much.
yourself, we also believe it for you. And we
Yeah.
can't wait to see you get into that EGOT, get that EGOT status.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for believing in me as well, man. Like it's things like this and people like you who also like give me the encouragement to keep going as well. So shout out to
Yeah.
you guys. I appreciate it so much.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Firdy, that's all I have on my end
Yeah.
for you. I'm truly grateful that you gave us your time. And
Yeah.
again, I'm looking forward to meeting you. And hopefully in
Yeah.
future we will once again get to talk with you. And when we do talk with you, hopefully it'll be somewhere out of the country. You'll be doing far greater things than what you're doing
Yeah.
at the moment. Yeah, yeah. But from us, the
For sure.
oracles, that is all that I have. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, is Zed, please do so. Please subscribe. Please like. Please
Yeah.
share. Please turn on those
Yeah.
notifications. Do everything that you possibly can. We love you as well as our viewers. And thank you so much for everyone
Yeah.
that has subscribed so far. But until next time, cheers.
Peace. Thank you guys for having me. Mwah.
Right. Yeah, thank you very much, Firdy, man. That was amazing. Thank you so much for